What's up, Carlos? Good morning, Ted. Not even good morning anymore. I'm just saying that out of habit. Carlos, Ted, Aviat, how you doing, buddy? Sorry, guys, trying to tweet some stuff out here. Jake, Chris, Base Cliff. Is BTC going down? Get some of these. Let's get some people in here, guys. Go ahead and please don't forget to hit that like button. As a matter of fact, do that right now. Hit that like button. Share the link out with all your friends, family, and closest people that are still up, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. All right, let me get set up here. Wait for some people to get in here. We'll start talking about Bitcoin and probably my next public video to come out that says if your guru is telling you to buy Bitcoin, they're an idiot. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. That should be fun. Hello, everyone. So for those of you that did not know, I actually got married over the weekend, which is one of the reasons why I've been gone. We've been extraordinarily busy getting ready for the big day. It was spectacular. It was a lot of fun. Went up to sunny Sedona, Arizona. Beautiful. Very, very gorgeous. Thanks, Base Clef. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was pretty fun. We've been together 10 years, 2 kids, house. So it's been a long time coming, but it was still nice. It was a great event. I do recommend the wedding day. It's a lot of fun. You guys should do it as much as possible. So just, the things that are good in life, you want to do it again and again. I just get married lots of times, okay? It's good fun. Wedding days are fun. Okie dokie. What's my husband's name? Rachel. That's my husband's name. Did I give my wife Bitcoin? I think she would divorce me immediately thereafter if I gave her Bitcoin. So I missed you guys too. Heidi, thanks for saying you missed me. I'm gonna try to go. So it was pretty hectic for about a month before the wedding. My kids got out of school, and I'm working from home now with Real Crypto. So it's been harder to manage my time than it has normally been. You'd think working from home, it'd be a little easier to manage your time, but I find it, for me personally, it's a little more difficult. But now that now the marriage is over, now that the wedding is over, I'm going to kind of refocus and really kind of maximize what Real Crypto can be and try to kind of be more active and be what I think I should be to the community. So hopefully you guys will see a lot more of me in the future. So, all right, let's get to some Bitcoin analysis, see what the charts are saying. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Real Crypto. I am a chartist. I pretty much live on charts. I've been trading stocks for over 15 years and brought that analysis and that knowledge over to the crypto world, and it's served us well pretty far. We've been calling this market, not 100%. No one ever does, but we've been pretty good on leg for leg of movement. Nothing too bad. We talked about the 7,200 down here coming down from this bear flag situation here. That happened and then some. We called this bear flag and the rollover here. We said get ready to go either way, and it just dropped immediately almost a couple hours after we made that video. Everyone in the Slack chat room has been pretty much on the ball with this market, and yeah, it's just been grinding lower and lower. And I want to start off kind of the analysis portion of our stream tonight saying anyone that's saying to buy Bitcoin here, in my opinion, is an idiot. To really be quite frank with you, this is not a place to be long Bitcoin. Now that that's said, I want to talk a little bit about time frame. And this is something a lot of people don't necessarily mention, is time frame. The time horizon for your trade. If you're going to take advice from someone, whether it be someone on YouTube or some guy on Reddit that you've never heard of, or it doesn't necessarily matter, you should understand the time frame that they're referring to. So when I say don't buy Bitcoin, I'm saying even on pretty much all time frames, on all scales, I don't think buying Bitcoin now is a good idea. Nothing in the charts imply bullish action. The fact that we came over here and undercut this low, could potentially be bullish, but the action after we undercut this low so far has not been bullish. And if that changes, I will change my tune. But so far that has not been the case. We have actually we bounced very feeblishly. Is that a word? Feeblishly. We bounced without much fanfare, basically, right here. We came up. We didn't even test this prior breakdown point at this level here. You can see this very well defined bear flag. Broke down quite significantly. Went a little higher, but failed at this trend line here, which is actually funny because I actually got short. And when I left Friday, the 22nd, and when I got back, looked at the charts, I put my stop and kind of walked away, and I never got stopped out. So I put my stop at a place where if the market reversed, I would be stopped out of my trade. I would have a little gain, but not much. And it never hit. And I was actually astonished because I was trading from my iPad and on my phone. I didn't have really good charts, and my internet was pretty poor where I was in the hotel room. And the guys in the power hour yesterday kind of felt that, unfortunately. Sorry about that, but we knew it could happen. And my stop never got hit. And I'm like, wow, this is a weak market. If I go away for 4 days, basically, and the market doesn't respect my stop and doesn't take it out, or I should say respects my stop and doesn't take it out and just rolls over, that is not good for this market. I gave it over a weekend to really take me out, and it failed to do that even at this extremely low level. Even at this extremely low level, that is not good, ladies and gentlemen. That is not good. So anyone telling you to buy Bitcoin right now, even on the short term, it's an opinion. They're playing it for a bounce, and I really on all time frames, it's not a good thing. Probably it's not a good thing. Just got a text here. I'll let you know I'm live streaming right now. I'm going to text that. Haha. So, all right. But yeah, so I mean, really, anyone telling you to buy Bitcoin down here, anyone on YouTube, like if you have an individual friend, I'm not going to call that person an idiot, but anyone that has a similar platform to myself, that has any kind of a broader audience, if they're telling you to buy Bitcoin at this particular level for long term, they better definitely explain what they're talking about. There is no technical reason, and Bitcoin really doesn't have any fundamentals. If you guys disagree with me, we can go ahead and discuss that here. But there's really no reason to be buying Bitcoin here. There's none. There's absolutely none. We've been stair-stepping lower since we hit 10,000. We had this nice bear flag here after we bounced off this trend line, and I don't think enough people paid attention to this trend line. It was pretty apparent to me that this is an extraordinarily important trend line. What's up, R. Pete? How you doing? And I don't think anyone else did. It doesn't seem that way. Like, I thought people would freak out if we broke this trend line, but they didn't. The bulls still aren't convinced that we're done. They still think we're popping. And for what reason? You'll have to tell me. If someone's been telling you guys to buy, I would love to know why and what their reasoning is, because I don't see a reason. There's no reason here to be long Bitcoin. No reason at all. So that's kind of my general consensus. I'm seeing a couple of bad connection messages here. Not quite sure what that's about. Things are looking good from my side. It says my stream health is green. Not quite sure how to deal with that. So yeah, sorry about that, Jamie. Why don't you try refreshing the page maybe? But according to YouTube and my streamer, I'm doing pretty good here. All right, so guys, what else are you guys looking at here? We're looking at Bitcoin. We've been looking at a lot of the top altcoins in the power hour here most recently. So let's take a look at the GDAX and look at some Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash not looking very good. Rolling over here sideways, not doing too much. Again, just rounding over. You see we have the 50 and the 200 period moving averages right here. I'm on the 2-hour chart. You know what? Let's actually back out to the daily. Let's back out to the daily. So we've got a lot of bearish action. Just looks like every day we're just kind of churning a little bit lower. Volume fairly consistent in terms of its level, and you can see still quite a bit of red here. So Um, I just saw an interesting comment. Mr. Mad Max says, stock market peeps say sell in May and go away. It's almost July, so sell in May and go away. Not really necessarily working so well at this point in time in the stock market. I've got an opinion on that, but we're just going to stick to cryptos today, I think. Water break. So Bitcoin kind of rolling over here. Bitcoin Cash kind of rolling over, coming down to these ultimate lows. We could find some support down here. There's a possibility of that, but so far it doesn't look like it's here quite yet. Usually how I trade these types of things is I look for a trend line break of some kind. I'll draw this as a trend line. That's a pretty aggressive trend line, but it works out at several locations. So if we round up from here and volume stays good, that could be good for a trade. But if that were to happen, Bitcoin definitely would be rallying at that particular point in time. Ethereum actually was showing some strength, and then subsequently actually showing some weakness. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Litecoin looking very weak compared to Bitcoin, down at 75. Wow, I don't have my glasses on. We're down at 75 on Litecoin. Litecoin has been a very good barometer. Litecoin's been a pretty good barometer for the Bitcoin movement. You can just see how bearish it's been. And every time I get a little bullish on Bitcoin, I look at Litecoin and go, man, this thing is just damaged. This Litecoin chart is damaged. It's damn well broken. You can see this was the 6,000 low in Bitcoin, and Litecoin just doesn't care. It's moving lower. And Litecoin has been a good proxy for Bitcoin in terms of basically sentiment. I've been viewing this kind of as a sentiment gauge. And the sentiment here is no bueno. So keep this in mind too. If we go to CoinMarketCap, you've got Litecoin down here at 4 billion, Bitcoin up at 100 billion. They're actually not selling off Bitcoin as aggressively as Litecoin. And let me put my thought together here. They do this in the stock market all the time. What they will do is they will sell these smaller cap coins that no one's really paying attention to, while they're propping up the one that everyone's paying attention to. It's kind of like the Dow Jones Industrial Average. If you're not familiar with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, there's 30 stocks, and they'll actually prop up those 30 stocks or not sell those 30 stocks while they're distributing profits that they've had in the NASDAQ and the Russell and other exchanges. It feels like something similar is happening with cryptocurrencies right now, where Bitcoin is not really being sold off as aggressively while they're liquidating Litecoin, while they're liquidating Ethereum, while they're liquidating Bitcoin Cash. It just really feels that way to me, and it's not a tremendous amount of sentiment, and it's not a tremendous difference, I should say, but it's noticeable. And Litecoin is the is the biggest offender, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You can just see the general bearishness. There's no one accumulating Litecoin. And while in Bitcoin, you're seeing a lot of people short Bitcoin, and we're getting these big bounces in Bitcoin. Sorry, I'm trying to jump around there on you. Most of these are short covering rallies from BitMEX that kind of flow through the market. And yeah, it could be pretty... I think that's why, another reason why Bitcoin hasn't fallen off nearly as much. But as soon as we go ahead and if we get below here, I have a sinking suspicion that when we get below this low here, all hell's gonna break loose. And I don't mean an instant drop down to my 5,000 target here. What I mean by that is the bears will probably literally evaporate, and if they come back, it's gonna be a bloodbath for them, because none of this is bullish action. So let me go ahead and read some of these comments. I've seen a few about some other people here. Chart guys and nodes suggest that we're due for a counter trend rally, as we've seen 7 mostly red weeks in a row. It's possible, but I don't know necessarily about that. We are due rallies. We can't go in one direction forever. Even on the uptrend, we did have these pullbacks. We had a pullback here, big pullback here, subsequent one-day pullback at 11.5. Even on the way down, it hasn't been straight down. So absolutely, at some point, we will get some kind of a pullback. But this is what generally happens in a bear market, and this is what these guys maybe not be getting. Okay, and if Node's really, I haven't seen Node's latest video, so I can't necessarily speak to that. But when markets get into a phase where everyone gives up hope, you sometimes don't get those rallies. And then it gets lower and lower and people start waiting for bounces that never occur. That's kind of what this feels like here ever since we hit 10,000. We've really failed. 1, 2, 3, 4. We poked higher there. So 4 highs in a row we failed. This high we poked over. Let me zoom in here so you can see a little better. So here's a prior high. We poked over it, but no close ever got over it. We barely poked above there. Never poked above this high, never breached this high, haven't breached this high. We've only had one high since 10,000 that has even barely tried to get tested. And everything's been it's just been falling. You can see the sentiment waning in the bulls. They're just not willing. They're not willing to do it. This, I had the circle from a video that I recorded earlier. This was the last chance for the bulls to win. To be quite frankly, that was the last chance for the bulls to win. And they didn't do it. They couldn't do it. No one had the balls to buy in. All right? No one had the balls to buy in. So, thanks for joining me here, guys. Got a few more people on the stream. Please hit that like button. Everyone watching this stream right now that's at least enjoying the stream, whether you agree with me or not, hit that like button. Let's get some more people in here. Share the stream. I would appreciate it. Let's see what everyone else is saying in here. Node is always too bullish, to be honest. Node investor has been very clear that he's not one way or the other. People are buying due to wishful thinking. That is absolutely true, Peter. And I agree with that. You know, when you see my video coming out that says people are idiots telling you to buy Bitcoin, all these guys on YouTube telling you to buy Bitcoin are idiots. They have no idea what they're talking about. And if you're going to buy Bitcoin, you better make sure that you're going to hold for a long time, because this market is getting more bearish by the day. I mean, this is the daily chart. And as you can see, we're having less green candles, less green candles, less green candles. So anyone telling you to buy Bitcoin really just is telling you what they want you to hear. And to be honest with you, my name is Real Crypto. I did that for a reason, because I'm not going to BS with any of you for views. If you guys don't like what I have to say, if I say Bitcoin's going down, you disagree with me, and you unsubscribe, or you leave the community, or leave me a bad comment, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But guess what? I'm still going to say it, because that's what I'm viewing in the charts. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys to buy, because you're going to watch my next video. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just the way that I am. I can't lead you guys to slaughter. And there's nothing bullish in these charts. I wonder if we are watching the same guy. Node investor has been bearish, as we are in a bear market. Doritos Extreme. Will you be buying more Bitcoin if it drops around 4.5K? I will buy Bitcoin when the technicals of the chart and the price action tells me that the bottom is occurring. Whether it's the first bottom or second bottom, we may get one or two bottoms. It's just, you never know how these things are going to work out. So, but I will be buying capitulation type bottom movements. Until then, I have a small short position on Bitcoin, but a majority of my position is in cash. How about shorting BitConnect here, Ted? Let's go take a peek at So I'm not a huge fan of shorting right here. I would like to get in on a bounce, but yeah, BitConnect is Bitcoin Cash is very weak here. You can see this was the last measured move. We haven't done a huge analysis even on the power hour there, Ted, on Bitcoin Cash. We've really been sticking with Bitcoin because these things tend to move together. We can take this measured move here, Ted, and kind of extrapolate that down, which we haven't done in the past. This takes us down to 250 on Bitcoin Cash, which is really low. That's really low. That's pretty close to the lows, I think, all time on Bitcoin Cash. But this is on GDAX, so obviously they don't have the full history. But there is quite a bit here left to go. I can't say we don't get a bounce here, though, but man, it's such a weak tape. But I don't know if you did short here, Ted, I would really, you'd have to give it your stop up here at about the 935 level, which is a very aggressive stop. 30% is a lot. You're gonna have to make this a very small position, or you just may have to pass on this at this moment in time. But if Bitcoin does start to crack, Bitcoin Cash may be one that that if you want to play it, you may play it, but based off of Bitcoin, not necessarily on the chart here. What's the best alternative to US dollar tether besides fiat, true USD? I don't think you have one, to be honest with you. I think fiat is fiat. If you're willing to risk it with tether, you can do so, but I would just put my money in fiat, to be honest with you. I mean that's what I do. That's why most of my money is generally in cash, because I'm not going to put most of my funds in Tether. So falling rain, I've been holding various coins for over 6 months now. So far in the red, I could vomit. Hope to see it turn around over the next 12 months. Maybe I should have been paying attention to real crypto. Um, I don't know what to say about that, my friend. You know, I really have been trying to tell everyone about this market for the past 6 months. That's no joke. You guys that have been around the community know that I've been talking about a bear market going all the way back to right after 20,000. I've had many videos out about the bearishness overall in this market, and it's going to get worse, guys. It's going to get worse. That's what the charts imply. If they turn around and go bullish, I'll be here with another video, but they're not implying that. And you know, if you look at the coin market cap, we're sitting here happily under 250,000, 243. Pretty much everything's in the red, and QDM up 7%. Wonder what that's about. That's new. Interesting there. Bitcoin Diamond for some reason exists. And what else do we got here? Cortex, whatever that is, up 1%. Monaco up 5%. That could be good for Monaco. Monaco kind of has had no love since it had its big run in 2017. Just no love for Monaco. But the general cryptocurrency market is just really falling, guys. We had a huge bull run. I mean, come on, Bitcoin went up 13,000% from the low in 2015, from the ultimate low in 2015 to the ultimate high in 2017. It's going to take a long time for that to play out, and we're kind of in the middle of that right now, everyone. This isn't a situation that's ultimately going to reverse itself. At least it's not in the charts right now. Anyone telling you different is strictly running off of opinion and just their unwillingness to believe what's in front of their eyes, guys. I mean, if you're watching a car crash and you're steering along happily and going, "Oh, that looks really bad. It's right in front of me." You know, I don't feel like getting into a car crash today. I'm just going to keep driving. You're going to get into the car crash, okay? Just the way that it is. Nothing wrong with US dollar Tether if it's for a few days. Yeah, I've got some funds in Tether. It's not a tremendous amount of my account, but I do have some funds in Tether that I will hold when I'm trading. But there's really nothing to be traded here recently, so it's just been sitting. QDM has some positive news, can't remember what. All right, that's cool. Those fork coins like BTCD have bigger teams than your average shitcoin. Could be, definitely could be. Is it a good time to short BTC with a stop at 6,400? Let's take a peek. Let's go to the 2-hour chart here. So your good short was actually earlier in the day on the breakdown here. That was a pretty good short. Or even the pop above this trend line. You can see we popped above it and just kind of rolled over right underneath of it. We don't have a situation now where things are have to break down. That's not where we are right now. We're basically still in kind of a holding mode. I don't think we're in a breakdown mode. I still think we're in kind of one of these sideways consolidations. Now, so earlier today in the power hour, I was kind of likening this action here with this action here. You see the big up thrust, kind of right there. And we may slowly be rolling over. If you did want to take a short here, you mentioned 6,400 being your stop. I think that's not a bad bet. As long as you're comfortable with the risk that you're taking there, as long as you're comfortable with that, I don't think that's a horribly bad trading decision. The only thing right now that does look bullish on the charts is if you go to the daily, there is a bit of a divergence on the RSI. Whoops, stuck on the brush tool there. Go ahead and take these out. So there is a little bit of divergence on the RSI. So as the price has been getting lower here, we have the RSI slightly diverging between this low here and this low here. We have the RSI having a higher low where the price has a lower low. This would imply that trend is forming in the opposite direction. And you can actually see it on the charts without even looking at the RSI. So you can actually take this trend line here and clone it and bring it down. And I've got a lot going on here on this chart right now. And you can see that we had this trend line respected, almost touched, but this one didn't even get close to touching this trend line. So that you can generally just kind of see that the low is higher and that the trend is slowly reversing. Now, if we undercut this, that's going to be pretty bad, undercutting this. In this type of a situation, you would expect a bounce. That is traditionally what would happen. But the price action right now suggests otherwise. It suggests that we're actually going sideways to lower. And this consolidation has been sideways where these have been angled up, showing the lack of strength in this market. And this is a pretty pivotal point. There's a lot of people expecting this 5,800 number to hold. And unfortunately, I think they're going to be sorely disappointed at some point in time. So when that happens, I would expect that you're going to see a lot of longs, especially retail longs like you and me, that will be distributing those coins and selling them and causing further downside action because they don't want to take that risk. They're trading a bounce right here, and if they don't get that bounce, they're going to exit. Could be an H pattern, Carlos. Definitely could be an H pattern. All right, so let's see what's being said in the comments here. Good time to short BTC with a stop at 6400. I don't think 6400 is a bad stop. Like I said, as long as you're comfortable with that risk from your portfolio perspective, I think you can go ahead and take that trade. But it's pretty wide. It's about $400, $350. So we may get another up thrust. We'll have to wait and see. We haven't had a big pause here. Most of these pauses have been several days. Usually when we have these shorter pauses, we have these throwbacks. You see here we had a pause about 3-4 days. We fell down and then had a throwback. And then we so if you consider this one big pause, we had the bigger correction, bigger pause, bigger correction, bigger pause, bigger correction. And then Sratra, what's up Sratra? You can hedge your Bitcoin by shorting 1x on BitMEX if you don't want to hold Tether. Shorting 1x maintains dollar value. That is generally true. I would check on your fees on that. However, you are paying fees every 8 hours on BitMEX. So go ahead and keep that in mind as well. Nothing to see here. Chart helped influence my decision to go in cash long ago. Now I can buy back anytime and have more than when I sold. Awesome. Glad that's, you know what, that makes me happy. I'm really glad I could help you make a sound decision. That's really all I'm here to do, guys, is help you make sound decisions. At least one of my predictions came true today. I predicted Randy would do an extreme stream today. All right, Pete. Well, did you go long on that? Hope you went long on that one, my friend. Bob Miner, stuck all in on crypto. Only a little amount in cash. Any suggestions? That's tough, Bob. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I really am. Really am. So here's the thing, as we get lower in Bitcoin, and I don't think I've said this publicly before, there's going to be a time where I'm going to recommend not selling your Bitcoin, to be quite frank with you. I think it's going to be around 5,000 to 4,500. So when you're down in this area, while we still may spike lower, and if you guys have been following me for a while, I believe the low is going to be between 24, which is right here, and $3,600, which is right here. Okay, so somewhere in this area between this low and this point, I know that's horribly and it looks dumb, I apologize about that, but somewhere in this area I do think we're going to bottom. And if you're not a trader, okay, so let me go ahead and delete that because that looks really bad. If you're not a trader and you're more of a long-term trader, okay, now I don't believe in hodling necessarily. If you guys have watched my videos for a long time or have talked to me, I don't necessarily believe in just blind hodling. That is not a thing for me, okay? That is not a thing for me. I do believe there is a point where you run the risk of doing more damage by selling than by just holding your position, okay? So if you've got a bag from much higher levels and you've watched my videos and you still haven't sold, down here it's $6,000. We've been talking about selling since 15,000, guys. If you've been really active since 17,000, we've been talking about it from up here. If you're still holding Bitcoin at 6,000 and still holding Bitcoin at 5,000, there's going to be a point where you just don't sell because it's too low. It's just too low for you've just taken too big of a hit, because what's going to happen is you're going to sell and you're not going to get back in because you're just too hurt. there's just too much emotion involved in the trade. You're down 60, 70%, and it's just too emotional for you to take the loss. And I understand that. So if you're down 70, 80%, I would actually recommend, like from a Bitcoin, not an altcoin perspective, but from a Bitcoin perspective, I would definitely recommend just not selling. I would recommend not selling. And I would recommend considering that lost money and just ignoring it and letting it come back over the course of a year or however long it takes. That would be my recommendation. And we're getting close to that level. So, to the gentleman here who says you're holding some bags for much higher levels, on altcoins, you're probably going to want to distribute a lot of the altcoins depending on what you're holding, and you didn't give me a lot of information there. But from a Bitcoin perspective, at some particular point in time, you're going to want to just you know what, I'm down 80%. I'm not going to buy back in if this thing goes down more, so I'm just going to hold. Now, if you are an active trader and you're still holding Bitcoin for whatever reason, I would probably recommend distributing, even sub 5,000, because you're going to be really active when we get down towards these lower levels. And even if you sell at 5 and rebuy at 3,500, that's still going to be a pretty good 30% that you're going to miss out on. So you're going to have a bigger Bitcoin position at that particular moment in time. But if you're not very active and have a much longer term perspective, we're getting close to the point where I think you just hold on. You hold on for dear life. And I don't think that's the case higher. I don't think that's the case higher up here. And I definitely was telling you guys not to hodl if you bought, over 5,000. You don't want to hodl that. But if you got Bitcoin from $100, there's a guy I was reading today is Bitcoin from $10. Of course you hodl $10 Bitcoin, but you don't hodl $10,000 Bitcoin. That's absurd. I just think that's absurd. Curious to hear your case for 27 to 3,400 Bitcoin. I really respect your opinion. I've got several videos on that, Nacho Man, like going back months. I mean months, going back to when we were at 13,000. I've got a video 2,500 or 25,000. Let me go see if I can find that. I don't want to go too deep into it. Not Real Crypto, YouTube. Actually, this was a complete accident. Since I'm on Real Crypto, if you guys do enjoy my content and you do want some more advice and just generally want to know more about trading and kind of what we're talking about, feel free to join our Power Hour, where every single day I do an hour plus with you guys, and we talk cryptocurrencies, we talk some stocks, we talk a lot of market stuff, and it's a lot of fun, jam-packed with information. We have a spreadsheet that we maintain on some altcoins, which is not looking good, guys. The altcoins are just trash right now. There's nothing that looks good. Usually that's the time to go long, but it's looking worse than normal. But anyway, we discussed that in the Power Hour. We go over stock strategies, so feel free to check this out on the website if you want to. Also, I've got a couple of webinars. If you guys haven't seen my webinars, I've got how to buy Bitcoin right, how to buy the bottom. This is for more of the advanced trader if you want to buy the bottom, but the market cycles webinar, everyone should take the market cycles. That's a really good webinar. I've had nothing but good feedback on that, and please feel free to check out that offering. Webinars are $22, and the Power Hour is $50 a month, but we stream 7 days a week. So it's like a $1.25 a stream. So that's ridiculous. Ask me anything you want in that. Anyway, getting back to it, I was going to go to my YouTube channel. I actually wasn't going to go to Real Crypto. Let's go to Real Crypto. I also have Real Stocks, which I need to do a video on here. Mexican Charlie Lee's in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing? Shahab, I actually already have looked at Litecoin. I can go back and do it again if you'd like. So if you go to my videos, there's a real interesting video here. Gosh, I have so many Power Hours. I need to put these into playlists for you guys. I don't even think that it's a thumbnail is what it is, but it's here we go. Let's do sort by views. Okay, so if you want to talk about, so here's 5,000 to 3,600 likely. This was 3 months ago. 3,600. Oh, here it is. 2,500 or 25K 6 months ago. 6 months ago. So there's my 2,500. You can go ahead and look at that. So 2,500 to 3,600 within both of these videos. Some of my more popular ones. You can go ahead and check that out. Another call for a webinar on swing trading. Absolutely. I will be being much more active with. I've only done 2 webinars, guys. I've had this out for 6 months, 2 webinars. So I hope you. When I do a webinar, it's a very pointed topic that I think is important, and I've had good feedback on all of them, or both of them, not all of them, but that is probably going to be one of my next ones I do. I'm going to try to be more active with the webinars. I know you guys like deep dives on these topical conversations, so swing trading probably will be in my next one sometime in the next couple of weeks. So, but go ahead and check out these videos. Bitcoin 2,500 or 25,000. I put 25K in there just to catch people's attention, even though the rally was over and I knew it. And I actually even said it. Oh, looks like this was a little bit after that. So, opinion on TKY turnkey. I don't know what that is. Let's look at TKY. I'm gonna say no probably because pretty much everything's garbage right now. Yeah, no. I don't recommend any altcoin at this moment in time. None. I haven't seen any altcoin that I like. Big data blockchain, decentralized ecosystem for... If this is it, I don't necessarily... I don't necessarily like what that is. Key isn't... Look at the pump, 25% today. Whoa, there's 2 keys. At least on CoinMarketCap, that's interesting. Safe key. 16% today. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Every single market is going to have some things that move every day. You know, everything is going to have... Everything is going to move. Not everything. Certain things are going to move here. Certain things are going to move there. Don't get too excited, okay? Don't get too excited about things. We're in the middle of a horrible market, guys. This is a really, really, really bad market. I can't stress that enough. It doesn't sound sexy. It may drive you to not want to trade, but I don't want you to put money at risk. This is a horrible... I'm going to curse right now, so go ahead and mute your microphones in a little bit here. This is a shit market. This is so bad. This is so bad. This is a horrible, horrible market. And you guys really shouldn't be trading most of these altcoins unless you really have experience and know what you're doing and are comfortable taking quick profits. And I emphasize quick profits. I really emphasize quick profits. So let me go ahead and let me pull a key up here. It doesn't even pull up on CoinMarketCap over here. See if it'll pull up on Coinigy. I've got KuCoin. Okay, big pump on KuCoin here. This is what's called a first pop. Okay, it looks like we're getting a first pullback here. You may get a secondary pop out of this if you want to buy over this high of 150 Satoshis. Looks like I'm on an hourly chart here. So I don't know where you got into key, but looks like this particular... So when you get these pumps, you're going to get 1, maybe 2 small term legs out of them, but you got to be very aggressive with your profit taking. Got to be very aggressive, okay? So, you know, if you're lucky on this one, you may get a second pump out of this to maybe the 182 Satoshi level. That would be a measured move if we rally out of here, but you know, I would definitely make this a small small position. I wouldn't be super heavy in these. It's a very, very bad market right now. The tape has been getting weaker and weaker. We're in a different market than we've been. When Bitcoin was up here and we had a lot of good tradable rallies, that's one thing. Okay, but we're in a different market situation here. This market situation, since we took out 10K and didn't, you know, fail to go above it, and then subsequently broke this trend here, and now we're going to break this low here, and it's going to be game over. I mean, game over. You're going to have basically crypto winter is really what it's going to be. So crypto winter is what we're going to enter, and anyone arbitrarily telling you to buy without a very, very good technical reason for it is really just looking for views. Okay, they're really just looking for views. Do I like Digibyte long term? I don't like anything long term right now. Long term right now means, you know, further pain. We're gonna get down here, MCL. We're gonna get down here, and everything's gonna go with it. So I don't like anything long term. In terms of Digibyte as a project, I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. I try to stay up on some things, but I really haven't dug into Digibyte. It's been really a non-leading coin. Okay, so it is a blockchain. Fast, secure blockchain in existence. I don't know if you can write dApps on them. I really actually should know more about Digibyte. Everyone talks about Digibyte. Digital asset layer, application layer, core protocol layer, digital asset layer, application layer. So, I mean, yeah, in theory. So, here's the thing about cryptocurrencies right now, guys, and this is the funny part about cryptos. Everyone has their pet project they love. Everyone has something that they're kind of latching onto, right? If you're involved in sports, you're going to latch onto a team. If you're involved in stocks, you're going to latch onto a stock or a sector. If you're involved in crypto, you're going to latch onto a crypto. Don't latch onto anything. This is such an immature space. It is impossible right now to know what you are going to see in the next 5 years. Literally impossible to know. If you go back 2 years in crypto to 2016, like, we're going to see a complete... So let's do this. Let's do a historical snapshot to 2016. 2016, what are we in? June? So let's go to June 2016. There you go, June 26, 2016. What are the top coins here? We've got Ethereum. We know Ethereum is Ethereum. We know that, okay? The DAO, where the hell is that today? I haven't seen that at all. The DAO, was that rebranded or something? You got NEM. We've got Lisk. Lisk was like the prodigal child for a while. Their MadeSafe coin, which doesn't do a whole lot. Digix DAO. Waves up here at 13. So most of these aren't here anymore. We're going to see the same thing in the next 2 years. You're probably going to... Ethereum's probably still going to be here. Ripple's probably still going to be up here. But we don't know what are the other top altcoins. We don't know what they're going to do. We have no idea. So it's one of those situations where we still have no idea who the big leaders are. Now, if I were to take a guess today, I mean, like I said, Ethereum's probably still going to be there. I think EOS, now that it's actually mainnet is launched, hopefully something gets going, but I don't know exactly. In terms of Digibyte, I don't know. I have no idea. Whichever platform coin, I mean platform like Ethereum, EOS, Stellar, Cardano, whenever that goes live, whatever platform coin actually has traction is the one that's going to run, and you're going to see it in the charts. Okay, EOS had a huge run. We just saw it, go up to 6.7 billion market cap. It was high. I think it was like 13 or something at its peak here most recently. So these things are going to run, and usually the ones that get the most technical action are the ones that are going to lead. You saw it in Ethereum. You're seeing it with EOS. I think EOS is going to stay a large coin. But in terms of Digibyte, no idea. From a tactical perspective, being down as low as it is, DGB, where's it at? 49. Not really a market leader. Randy's a bear. I'm a bear right now. In a bear market, I'm a bear. In a bull market, I'm a bull. EOS TA. So let's do a little bit of EOS TA. So we got EOS Bitcoin. This is one we cover in the Power Hour on the spreadsheet. One of the avoids, pretty much like everything in the market right now. This is an avoid. We broke down from this whatever triangle-ish pattern this was, moving lower now. So EOS is an avoid. I would not be getting involved in EOS or many of the top altcoins. I would not really get involved. What's up, Aram? How you doing, buddy? Definitely do Neblio. Take a look at that for you. What's up, Aram? So, EOS pointing lower. Pretty much all these altcoins just kind of rolling over and heading lower. EOS Neo. I don't have Neo on here. We had Neo on the spreadsheet for a while, but it really just looks like trash. Undercutting this low. is really bad, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I really don't care how oversold it is. When you break a long-term trend line going all the way back to when Bitfinex started trading you, that's bad. That's horribly, horribly bad, guys. That's horribly bad. Just because something's oversold, and again, this also goes back to time frame, right? This also goes, dump your Neo at 70. Great job, Ben. Super job. I can't stress to you guys enough. Don't buy things just because they're at lows. Please don't. Please, please don't do that. It's just really, really bad. Really, really bad. Okay. So I've been going on a while here, guys. Almost about an hour here. I'm going to get going here probably in about 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll go a little bit longer. Let's get some good, guys, get some pointed questions out here. Get some really pointed questions out here. Love you guys to pick my brain about something you've wondered about the markets or technical analysis in general. Let's not do the normal, what do you think about this crap coin? What do you think about this crap coin? Because they're all crap right now. So pretty much everything I say right now is going to be crap. All these coins are shit right now. They're just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Let's get some more, thought-provoking questions in here. Break the norm, guys. Break the norm. Neo, living in lows. Horrible. Breaking this trend line. Horrible. Really, really bad. Nebel. Aram was talking about Nebel. Oh, is it already on here? Oh, it's already on here. Again, more horrible here, Aram. I didn't do this today. Pretty much everything was garbage. Living at lows here, slowly going, just lower, 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 lower. Lower, lower. Bad, 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 guys. This isn't 2017. We saw some action like this with some altcoins in 2017. They turned around, but this is a completely different market. If you guys have not traded any other asset class before, you are getting an education right now, and you should enjoy it. You should definitely enjoy it. And if I haven't said it before, and if you haven't done it, guys, hit that like button. Get some people on the stream. The more people I get on the stream, the longer I'm streaming. If I see my stream start to wane off, it means that I'm repeating myself and I don't need to be streaming anymore. So if you guys get some more people on here and spread it around, we'll keep this going. If there's some other douchebags streaming on YouTube that screaming for people to buy, tell them to come over, because those people are stupid. All right, saw some good questions come in. One question here was on TRX about analysis. I'll do that real quick. So we did this in the Power Hour today. We were looking at TRX actually at a potential larger cup and handle. Subsequently, basically failed that. This is a failed cup and handle now. And see this long-term trend line in TRX just starting to break now? That's not good. So bad, 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 bad. Not a fan of TRX here. Not a fan of TRX. I don't like anything here. Every altcoin in this market, like if we go down this spreadsheet, just selling after selling after selling. No one is accumulating cryptocurrencies because the smart money is not getting involved. BNB, it was holding up really good. It's not doing so well right now. I don't anticipate it staying a safe haven for a lot longer. We have two trend lines on BNB. This one broke yesterday, or the day before yesterday, it looks like. And if this trend line breaks, then I think it's the exit point for BNB, generally. Okay, let's get to some of these questions. What types of coins do you think will surge first when the market bull cycle comes? Currency, utility, security. So my general viewpoint there, looks like Coinigy, is, first of all, Bitcoin, if Bitcoin turns and has a rally, you're going to see Litecoin have a huge rally. So Litecoin's going to have a better percentage move. Probably Bitcoin Cash has had about a 2 to 3x move on Bitcoin. So I would anticipate Bitcoin Cash having a better percentage gain than Bitcoin. In terms of altcoins, I generally fancy the platform coins. I don't like any of the utility coins. I don't care about the security tokens unless you're talking about privacy, but you said security. So I'm thinking you're thinking like something like, I'm not thinking of a correct coin there, but I would anticipate the platform coins, your good platform coins, your VeChain. Let's go see what's on the menu these days. So the platform coins, I think Ethereum, EOS will probably run as long as their network isn't proven to be garbage. Stellar, Maybe Cardano if they have something to show for all of their work. Maybe Tron if they get a network going. You know, VeChain. All these VeChain's kind of not necessarily a specific platform coin, but it is you know, it is kind of considered its own platform. But I think all these platform coins will probably run the best. Do I ever use MACD as a leading indicator? Your charting skills are one of the best I've seen. Oh, thank you for that, Canada. Appreciate that. And no, I don't use MACD. Nope, I don't even use it. I used to try to use it, and it just gave me too many false signals, and I'm like, this is stupid. And then I really just started to learn price and volume. I do keep the RSI up from time to time. I'm using it more and more. It is probably the most reliable indicator, but ladies and gentlemen, any indicator is a secondary indicator. And what I mean by secondary indicator is that price and volume leads the market, okay? It leads the market. How the hell did I get signed out here? I refreshed my screen and it signed me out. I'm not sure. Am I still streaming? Yeah, it looks like I'm still going. Sorry, bear with me here, guys. I'm trying to figure out... Okay, there we go. Hey, Kelly. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Nice to see you here still. It's nice to see people that that have been, you know, watching the channel for a long time pop in and out. Aviad's been around forever. Thank you, Aviad, for hanging out. Kelly, I've seen you here for a long time. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, it's really cool to see you guys still around even as we're in a bear market. That really shows your guys' commitment to trading, and hopefully you guys are learning and doing good. I'd like to see you guys in the power hour, but you know, I understand not everybody wants to pay to hear my analysis. But anyway, yeah, nice to see you guys here. Sorry, I had to refresh my screen here. YouTube was giving me weird information, so. All right, so let's keep going here. What was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Yeah, so leading indicators. There we go. So indicators, any indicator is a secondary consideration. And this is why earlier when I was referring to this RSI having a bullish divergence, but the price action isn't really confirming that. In this situation, so recently we've seen the RSI and other time frames kind of lead us into a bounce. So far, and I would say so far because this could turn around, we don't see that price action confirming what we're seeing in the RSI with this divergence. It's not showing up. Now, we could continue sideways here and kind of, you know, the RSI could trickle higher and then we end up lower. And that's what I think is probably going to happen here if we don't just kind of immediately sell off. This is not a very good consolidation. This bottoming candle here with decent volume, not really being respected very well. So I do think we go lower. But in terms of MACD, no, I don't use it. The only secondary indicators that I use are moving averages and an occasional RSI, which is maybe 5% of my analysis. But I really have learned to read the chart and, you know, candle by candle, read the chart and infer sentiment. So if you guys want to know more about how I do that, you know, join the Power Hour. We can, you know, we can do some good analysis there, and we can discuss how I do that. You guys haven't really asked for that in the Power Hour. We actually, here's a funny thing about the Power Hour, guys. The past couple of weeks we've been doing like Power Hour and a half, Power 2 Hour. We had a 3-hour Power Hour one day because there was just so much to talk about. And you know, if you guys remember, if you guys want to tomorrow, because there's several members here right now, we can go ahead and do some of those bar for bar analysis. Generally, we talk about the markets, but we probably should do some more talk about, you know, charting principles and kind of how I read the chart. So let's do that a little more. Got a Bank Identicoin, TRX, Kin, HODL not selling in this market. How do they all go up or down at the same time? Good question there, Tom. It's kind of like chicken and the egg question. All right. So you have millions of traders around the world, and they're all looking at the same charts at the same time. You also have algorithms around the world trading at the same time. Water break, please. Excuse me. So you've got all these traders around the world, and we're all looking at the same charts. We're all looking at the same thing. And people are slowly leaving the market, okay? just slowly, slowly leaving the market. And the people that are left really kind of understand what's going on, and that's why no one's buying. That's why no one's buying. And it's you can see the sentiment swing. It's like a big pendulum, okay? And so when you see bullish action, you see the pendulum swing to the bulls, okay? And then when you see the bearish action, you see the pendulum swing back to the bears. And it's really just everyone making decisions at the same time. It's there's no big mystery to it. It is literal sentiment of millions of people, and that's why the markets to me are so fascinating. You're literally watching, like when I'm looking at this Bitcoin chart, in my head, what I see is millions of people making decisions. Millions of people making decisions. I also see several thousand whales making decisions, and the millions following in a good or a bad way and trying to fight the whales. And when you see them fight the whales, it's funny. It's funny watching them fight the whales. Thanks for the key mention, pumping even more. At which point do institutions completely leave the market? They will never completely leave the market. They're not even fully in the market yet, Strat. They're not even fully in the market yet. They're watching. They're patiently waiting. They're setting up their trading desks. They're worried about custody of tokens. There's a lot of things that need to happen for the institutions to come in, and they really haven't left the market. They're just waiting. They will never leave. This is what they do. Do you do fundamental analysis? And if so, what do you think about ICX? Austin, I do fundamental analysis. The problem with cryptos is there are no fundamentals. So, there you go. There's no fundamentals. When do you think the next Bitcoin bull run will start? Well, first of all, I think we're going to get capitulation sometime this summer. At some point in the summer, maybe early fall if things just get boring and go super sideways. I think we're going to get bottom sometime later in the summer. And I think we're going to see the semblance of an uptrend after that. I don't know if we're going to go into a sideways purgatory market. We probably will at some point in time, but starting an actual uptrend will probably be sometime in 2019. And we just saw a 2-year bear market or 2-year bull market from the 2015 low to the 2017 high. Actually almost a 3-year bull market. We saw a 1-year, if we look at, so here's Bitstamp. If we go back here, here's the purgatory mode right here in 2014. This is actually 2015. This was 1 year of purgatory. We could see something like that again. And these markets are still rhyming pretty well. This is, we're kind of in this area right now where we're kind of just marching lower and everyone's getting their ass handed to them. But we could go into this purgatory mode for quite some time, and that could take 6 to 9 months to a year to play out, depending on how long it takes us to get to this ultimate low. So we could see a bull market in the next year. Okay, here we are. You kind of already answered this, but I'm hoping you could reiterate. As a newbie, I bought a lot of ETH at 750 and I'm still holding it. How long before it rebounds to that I want out? And man, I'm sorry about that. That breaks my heart, my friend. That really breaks my heart. Yeah, I don't know. This was kind of your sell. This was your dead sell point right there at 653. You should have been out at 653. That was really the dead sell signal. We were talking about this head and shoulders. I mentioned this in several videos. I didn't harp on it though because everyone wants to hear about Bitcoin. But a head and shoulders is a topping pattern. It is a reversal pattern. What you have here is a higher high than a lower high. And that's what implies the reversal. We happen to get this cool neckline, which can imply where we kind of are going to break down. And we did that. And we actually hit that target. Here's that target from that head and shoulders pattern. And we're beneath that right now. Man, I'm so sorry for that. That really breaks my heart, guys. As a chartist, as someone, I don't want to see anyone down 40% in a position. It's really hard to get that money back. And I don't think you're going to see that for a while. Gosh. When you're down, it's so hard to tell someone to sell down 40%. It's so difficult. And it really does break my heart, man. I've been there. I've sold positions off 60, 70% before. And it's heartbreaking because you know the money's just gone. It's just evaporated and you just don't want to sell, and I understand. And I definitely empathize, but I don't know when we're going to see 750 again. It's going to take quite a bullish run for us to get back up to 750. This run we had in Ethereum here was the run here on up to 10,000. I don't see another run like that in the future right now. I just don't see it. Not that it's not going to happen, but it's really hard to see it. If you want to cut the pain, I don't know how much of your portfolio is in that, but Stratmer mentioned a situation where you could go ahead and short. You can go ahead and short Ethereum on GDAX or something like that if you want to do that to maybe cut the pain. But I think it's going to be a long time before we see that print again in Ethereum, and I'm really sorry you're down so much. If we get another bounce up here at some point in time, stay tuned. Stay tuned to to the Real Crypto channel here. Subscribe, set the alerts so if something changes, follow me on Real Crypto Trade. Gosh, man, that really breaks my heart. I'm so sorry about that. How long before a rebound to that? I don't see. This is the thing. This is a fundamental swing in Ethereum, right? This was a big swing up, big swing down, big swing up, big swing down. We're going to need another big swing up to even come close, and we don't have that in the market right now. That's not in the cards. It's just it's not there. It's just not there. Something else regarding Ethereum. There's a long-term trend line here, an extremely long-term trend line. This trend line right there. That's an extremely important trend line. Okay? And here's another extremely important trend line that we're breaking. All right? I want to draw this correctly. I haven't really drawn that much in the past. Let's get this going. So we've already broken one line of support here. Not a super important one. This one's really important, though. And if we break this, we're going to have really, really bad days for Ethereum. I don't know if we break this, even in the ultimate lows of Bitcoin. I've been thinking in the back of my head we get under 300 for a little bit of time in Ethereum and then bounce right back. As an ultimate low is a possibility, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, I don't know, my friend. I don't think we're going to get back up to 750 anytime soon. I really hate to say just cut your losses, but any good bounce, I say you start cutting losses there. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to there, Hiraku. FXBTC JPY. If you can elaborate, I'm not familiar with that symbol. FXBTC. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is looking like basically the general cryptocurrency market. Is this Bitcoin? Bitcoin. I'm not familiar with this ticker at all. I have no idea if I think it's Bitcoin. I don't know. What's the daily say? Is this Bitcoin? That's so weird. Kind of looks like Bitcoin. I'm assuming this is Bitcoin against the yen. And you're right, there's definitely a lot more volume here. Very interesting. That's very interesting. Very light volume here at the top. High volume down here. This would indicate some accumulation. This would indicate some accumulation down here. Absolutely. Especially that candle right there. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It's the only thing showing that. Everything else still looks like crap. But that definitely looks like some accumulation. Very interesting. Thanks for bringing that up. What do you think of the big tech companies like Alpay, IBM, Oracle, SAP doing their own blockchains, and maybe the current project's obsolete since they already have their customers? That's an absolutely great fundamental argument right there, Rafi. And that is something that cryptocurrencies is investors like you guys and myself are, that is a negative for us. Blockchain itself doesn't need the currency, guys. And the whole point about Bitcoin wasn't about making money. The whole point on Bitcoin was the blockchain and changing the way that people do business and secure things. And that doesn't need the currency. It doesn't need it. And so you have an excellent point right there, Rafi. All these coins could be worth nothing. What's the telltale sign of capitulation? Well, you have a couple of good examples here on the chart. Man, this is a weird chart. I'm going back to where I'm comfortable. That's weird. So this is capitulation. A huge spike to the downside right here with big volume is capitulation. This is capitulation. This is capitulation. This is capitulation. Even this is capitulation. Capitulation basically is a huge move to the downside on massive volume. That is capitulation. Getting some good questions here, guys. Keep them coming if you guys have any other ones. Yeah, please keep them coming. Please share the video. Hit that like button. Let's keep that going. No super chats here today. That's weird. Usually get one or two. Opinions on WAN. Haven't looked at WAN in a long time, actually. Oops, not WAN Ethereum. WAN Bitcoin. Oh man, we took this off the spreadsheet. When did we take this off the spreadsheet, guys? Do you remember? I think it was here when it broke this trend line. We took it off the spreadsheet. Maybe it was here. But man, we removed it and it looks like it doesn't like life right now. Just to avoid one. I don't know how low it can go. It's not my job or place, but it's trashed. It's dead. No one wants WAN. Club 80. It is very easy to have high TPS, but you don't get decentralized blockchain. In that case, Visa has millions of TPS, but centralized BTC is slow TPS because it's decentralized. Oh, you're responding to another question. Okay. What's the biggest key factor, in your opinion, that would need to take place to turn this market around to be a long-term bull run? You need to take the market cycles webinar seriously. Not, for those of you that have money at risk in the market, I don't show my stuff a lot, but I'm going to show my stuff right now. This is important. Okay, this market cycles webinar. I'm sure there's people in here who have taken this market cycles webinar. And be honest. How much did this help you in viewing kind of generally what the markets can do and do? Okay. The market is about sentiment. The sentiment of the investors. Okay. The sentiment of the investors has to turn around. All right. It really has to turn around. And that's really what the market cycle is. It's investor sentiment. Okay. And that's what has to change around. There's no news article. There's no technological innovation. There's no being, accepted at Macy's. None of that is going to change anything in cryptocurrencies in terms of the price. Nothing is going to do that. The only thing that changes price is sentiment. The sentiment of the market participants. That's it. That's it. So the only thing that is going to change that is time. It's going to take time. It's going to take pain. And that's basically why we do technical analysis, because by doing the analysis, you understand the general sentiment of the market. Okay? That's the general thesis here. OMG, can you say something? I'm not sure what that's referring to there. I'm saying a few things. Did you ask a question up here? Let me see. I don't see you asking a question. So, hi, Real Crypto. Hello. How are you? Do you think BTC will go to 4,500, then bounce to 65, then fail, copying 2014, or will we go to straight to 2325? I don't specifically know about those numbers, but the market does ebb and flow. It does bounce and fall. Okay, so when we get to 5,000 or 4,500, I do think we're going to have to reevaluate And, you know, I recently kind of formed a saying on my channel, one leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind. So, you know, this most recent leg of Bitcoin has been going down. The action's been down. The cycle's down. So we'll reevaluate when this leg is done and hits this 4,800, 5,000 target. I don't want to really speculate on if it's going to bounce to 65. I don't think anyone can tell you that. But in 2014, there is definitely a possibility that we do get a bigger bounce before the big failure, trapping some bulls in the market. And that is sometimes what causes the ultimate capitulation, is people thinking it's the bottom and it's not, and then it rolls over and sells, and they distribute all their coins, and then they get tricked in. Then they get tricked into selling their coins, and then the institutions buy a bejesus amount of Bitcoin. 5+ years in the space. Opinion on WAN. I think I addressed WAN already. Oh, I think we talked about that. Kelly, if we did our fundamental research, whereabout is a good long-term entry? So Kelly, I'm not quite sure what fundamental research you can do in crypto. And you're actually asking me two completely separate questions, to be quite frank with you. Just to be real and kind of put you on the spot here, just to make you get out of your, just to make you uncomfortable, which is where you're going to do your best work, to be honest with you. You know, when you're challenged and someone makes you uncomfortable in something that, you know, you've done, you tend to grow. And so hopefully you'll grow a little bit with this. There's no fundamental research in crypto, number one, period. It's, you know, none. You can't do fundamental research in crypto. There are no fundamentals in crypto. None. You can know a little bit about the project. You can figure out how many people are using the network. You can I don't know what else is there. I guess that's it. That's really it. There's nothing else. In terms of a long-term entry, that's a completely separate question. I don't care if you didn't do any fundamental research or did do fundamental research. The good entry is going to be the same place. Okay, it's going to be the same place. And it's going to be when we have the capitulation, there or after. I do not believe in buying, you know, hoping for things to work out in 6 months. That's not how I work. Okay, I work in, okay, there's an expectation that we're going to be profitable here based on the chart action. There's accumulation patterns. There's price moving upward. You know, that's pretty much how I work. I don't bottom buy. I don't arbitrarily buy lows because I feel like it's good. So, you know, in terms of doing your research on the coins, I mean, there's no research to be had here. I'm pretty sure at some point in time I'm still going to come across Dogecoin. Right there, Dogecoin. It's still around. Literally started as a joke. There's no fundamentals for Dogecoin. Zero. You know, in the same way there's no fundamentals for Cardano. You can't do fundamentals on Cardano. It's impossible. It's not even a live network. Okay, this is like pure speculation, 100% speculation. So your best entry point is going to be the same whether you do homework or don't do homework. And it's when we see an ultimate capitulation bottom or a reversal pattern of some kind, or if you want to take things for a trade. If you want to buy now, you're going to be holding for at least a year, I think. So sorry to beat you up there a little bit, Kelly, but I just want to keep it real. There's no fundamentals in crypto, and long-term entry is really going to be where the bottom is. I mean, or after the bottom has formed. And since there are no fundamentals, you only have technicals to buy off of. Very interesting. Ben, we're in a bear market. Where did you... Oh, wow, I'm really behind on comments. Holy crap. I'm going to have to breeze through some of these guys. We're in a bear market now. Is it a specific price level we have to break to be in an uptrend, or simply a sustained uprun and confirmation of support levels? That's an interesting question. Bear markets are hard to find bottoms in. It's really hard to say, this is the bottom. Okay, hopefully, now if you get a big capitulation day like we did in 2014, like right here, huge volume out of, you know, kind of a sea of no volume and then a huge move to the downside. Hopefully we can get that, and that will be a big waving flag that the bottom is in. Okay, that's what we're hoping for. And I say hope because we don't know for certain. Like, this was a capitulation move that failed, and you know, we moved down here and then bounced up higher. We could still do that. We could spike down to 4,500 or 4,000 here as everyone kind of, you know, abandon ship, jump, and then do it again. That's something that could happen. But we need sentiment to turn around. It's more about lack of bearish action than it is a specific price level. It's about behavior. It's all about behavior. That's hard to put on a chart. So I'm going to go ahead and breeze through some of these questions, guys. I do want to get to as many as I can. After capitulation, do you think the market could go sideways for a couple of years? What would initiate the next bull run? So what initiates that? And here's a good example. What initiates this next bull run was a break of this trend line. A break of this trend line right here. This high was touched 1, 2, 3 times, broke on the fourth hit, $300, and off you went. So, you know, it's going to be a price level that's going to spark the next bull run. We probably will see some sideways action of some kind. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when we get there. As far as when, I think it'll probably happen sometime in 2019. Platform coins will do well if utility coins exist and thrive on them. Otherwise, what's the point of the platform if nothing is built on top of them? Really does well, then why have them at all? That's a good point there, Hainsey. I do agree with you. The platform coins will thrive off of those utility. However, it's really hard to know which of the utilities is going to work. So let's say the stock market's a great example, right? Stock market's a fantastic example. Let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. Okay, I think I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it has 100 coins in the, or 100 stocks in the QQQ, what makes up the NASDAQ. Okay, so you can trade in any of those 100 stocks, or you can just trade the NASDAQ. If you want to trade the NASDAQ, that's fine. You know, if the tech sector is doing good, NASDAQ's going to do good. But if you buy all of Netflix and Netflix tanks, then you're going to really hurt your portfolio. So there's the safe way to do things, and there's the really risky way to do things. And that's just up to your individual risk tolerance, whether you want to buy the utility tokens or buy the actual network itself. And Ethereum would be akin to the NASDAQ, versus where the utility tokens would be akin to the individual stocks. Now, which ones are going to work will be the ones that have the most commercial use that they need that blockchain. Because like we were discussing earlier, they don't necessarily have to use a token that's a tradable token that can go up and down in value. They can pay a blockchain consultant a few $100,000 and a development team a few $1 million and develop their own blockchain that doesn't need Digibyte or Ether or gas or anything like that. So it's really difficult to try to figure out exactly which one to get into. Crypto, you miss Avenge Voltaire. I always watch as he recommended me to you. Well, thank you for that. He was here. I thought Avenge Voltaire was... No, that wasn't Avenge Voltaire. That was Aviad, not Aviad. Yeah, where's Avenge been? I haven't seen him in a long time either. I miss all those guys that used to be in here back in the day. That was awesome. The guys that are here, though, still thank you very much for hanging out. Okay. What do I think about the descending triangle on BTC USD, and the daily target is 6K, but if you consider the target, it's about 2.5K. Let's get back here. I've got so much chart crap going on here. Let me go to Bitfinex and pull up BTCs. I don't want to eliminate my stuff here. Yep, users are starting to drop. I'm repeating myself. We're going to get out of here pretty quickly, guys. Okay, so where was the question here? What do you think about the descending triangle on BTC USD and the daily? That's kind of that's not what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Descending triangle on the daily. This one? Are you talking about the big one? If you're talking about the big one there, Antonin, target's negative 6K, but if you consider the target in terms of percentages, about 2.5K. I think this is very valid. I don't think you take it in terms of a price target, though, if that's what you're referring to, this triangle here. I don't think you take it in terms of a price target. I think it's just a consolidation. It's a pausing area. So, one of the best TAs in YouTube community. Oh, hats off to you, bro. Oh, thanks, Anoop. I appreciate that very much. If you do like the community here, I do have a Slack channel that I don't charge anything to partake in. And oh, there's my website. Yeah, if you go to the homepage on my website, there's no charge for the Slack chat room. Right here, you sign up for the newsletter and the Slack chat room at the same time. And I'm not going to spam you. I haven't even sent out a newsletter yet. But right there, if you're interested in chatting with a good group of traders, I'm in there from time to time, but not super often these days. But it's a good trading room there. Power hours at 2 a.m. in Australia, hard to join for us. Yeah, I know, Tian. I know. I'm toying around with the idea of doing a second power hour later in the afternoon. The problem is, I think in order to do it effectively for you guys, it'd have to be in the late evening, which may be difficult for me to do every day from just a personal life perspective. Like, I really wouldn't be able to have a life if every day I had to be here, all the time. But, there's a possibility I don't know. We'll figure something out with that. But I know there's a lot of people that would like to partake in the Power Hour live, so they could ask questions. But I do have quite a few members of the Power Hour that do watch recordings, and actually, they still enjoy it. So, do you think Bitcoin has lost a lot of merchant adoption? This has led to BTC downfall. Absolutely not. This BTC downfall has zero to do with merchant adoption, fundamentals, anything like that. It all has to do with the fact that if they never traded Bitcoin, like if they literally never put Bitcoin on an exchange, if they never put Bitcoin on an exchange, this would be a completely different asset class. Okay? If they somehow made Bitcoin something where it was just a transactional coin and they never made it a tradable asset, we would, first of all, not be here right now, and second of all, maybe we would be using Bitcoin. But because they made it a tradable asset, what they did is make it just susceptible to sell-offs and rises in price fluctuations like any other asset class. That's exactly what they did. And it has nothing to do with adoption. It has nothing to do with any of that. It all has to do with human psychology. Can I do a video on volume? In my courses, Mashuf, I will go very in depth on volume because it's extremely important. How long? What's up, Vlad? How long are we going tonight? I don't know. Probably not much longer. I know I've said that 20 minutes ago, but I'm trying to get to some stuff, and I will. I'll be going here pretty sure that it is coming up to bedtime here. Congrats on the wedding. Thanks, me. How you doing? Thank you very much. Kelly watches Power Hour every day. Unfortunately, due to time zone, I can watch the replay when I wake up in the morning. Well, Kelly, if you do have any questions, you can always email them to me, randy@real-crypto.com. It's right there in the footer of my website. So if you do have something you want me to discuss, yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. You know that. Power Hour, best money ever spent. Thanks, me. Appreciate that. Do you see coupling everything linked to Bitcoin like this in other markets? Not really. I don't see any coupling with other markets in Bitcoin. I pretty much only see coupling between altcoins and Bitcoin. There's really nothing else going on there. No, Steven, no one's asked about waves. If they did, I missed it. I can go over waves real quick. Garbage. Sell it all. Don't like any of it. Yeah, it's horrible. Don't like waves. Pretty much every altcoin right now looks like trash. Pretty much. I say pretty much because I haven't seen all of them. But I think all the ones that I have really look bad. Really look bad. Let's look at waves on Bitfinex there. Okay, so here's more history. Yeah, still looks really bad. Coming down to a prior low could act as support. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But overall, I'm not super impressed with Waves. Even generally, it had one big run here in looks like May. But outside of that, Waves hasn't done anything. I mean, not really against Bitcoin here. Yeah, I'm not super enthused with Waves. What would it take to get institutional money into crypto at this point, asks Bob Miner. Well, the institutions are here. They're looking. They're around. But they're playing spectator right now. They'll get involved when they deem it valuable enough and they deem it a good enough asset class for them to spend, you know, the millions of dollars that it will take for them to have good investment managers running those funds. Gino says there's lots of manipulation in this market and bots automatically making trades. What are your opinion? Just hold, leave sentiment out of it, and be patient. Water break here, guys. So, in terms of manipulation, in terms of bots, in terms of automatic trades, get over it. It's 2018. Who cares? Really, to be quite blunt with you and not politically correct at all, who cares? It doesn't matter if it's being manipulated. It doesn't matter if there's bots in the market. Who cares? Doesn't matter at all. Really doesn't matter. The action is in the charts. You treat the charts as the charts. If you even know about the manipulation, you're going to learn about it well into the future from when it was actually manipulated. If you think it's that manipulated, just leave the market. And if you want to trade, then just read charts and learn how to trade. Neo is good long term. I don't think so. You know, everyone's like been so up on Neo, sitting here at 13th. You know, 2 billion market cap. What it was like in top 10. Now it's at 13. We got EOS up here. We got Stellar up here. We got Cardano up here. The hell's crawling on me? Yeah, where's Neo's down here? No, just ignore it. Just ignore Neo. You know, I understand it's China. I understand it's a big project. It's been around a long time. Blah, blah, blah. No one's putting money into it. They need to put money into Neo if it's going to be a success. I looked back at the 2014 chart, and it's eerily similar to now. I think we have a run back up to 9,000 or 9,500 before we move lower. Just my analysis. So, Ben, we've actually already passed that part of the 2014 market cycle. I've done plenty of videos likening this to the 2014 market cycle. And more than likely, we are going to, keep going lower. I think we've passed the point of the large bounce. All right, guys. Looks like I'm not gonna be able to get to all these questions. I'm trying to breeze through here, but not a whole lot. I'm not able to keep up. So viewership's dropping off. Appreciate you guys for sticking out. Those of you that have. I seem to be repeating myself a lot now, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. So thanks for joining me, guys. It's been about an hour and a half. Pretty good live stream. I'll try to do at least one of these a week. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how things go, but I'm gonna be pretty busy pumping out content. Working on a lot of projects coming up, so definitely keep a lookout for that. Again, please check out my website real-crypto.com if you want to know more about me. Join the Slack chat room right here on the front of the website. That is, you just sign up for that. That is free actually. If you do want some more in-depth information, again, we got my webinars. Have a couple up here. The buy the Bitcoin right at the bottom. This actually teaches you how to buy a capitulation bottom. And market cycles webinar, which gives you general knowledge on how the overall market cycle works, bull and bear and choppy. So good information there. And also the Power Hour, where we do deep analysis every day on the markets, stocks, and crypto. Some more stocks lately, but I'll be breaking those out into 2 Power Hours, one for stocks, one for crypto. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night.